Hey guys, if you watch my previous video, then you know that I just recently got this factory radio bezel and installed this gauge pod panel down here that goes in that bottom section underneath the radio. And we are going to be installing that today and replacing this metal plate that was here before. These gauges I'm doing away with except for the Innovate air fuel ratio gauge, because that is a really nice gauge and a really good system, and I have all the wires and everything for it. And then for boost, I just got this glow shift gauge. It got good reviews. It's fairly inexpensive. So opening the box here, you can see that's the receipt. We got a couple of stickers right here. 10% off, that's cool. And then here's the box for the gauge itself. So I got the Tinted 7 color series gauge. And you can see it right there. It's got a little film over it. We will pull this. Oh, alright. Open a little protective plastic piece. There's the gauge itself. This feels really, I don't know, it feels very well made. It feels like good quality. It's got some weight to it. Got all these wires. So that's gonna be your like power and switch and everything for the light for the gauge. And then this right here is going to be your line coming in for the boost. We've just got this casing that I guess goes around it. If you have a place that you're putting it and you require this. Plenty of just hose, boost line, whatever, vacuum line. And then a bracket to go on the back on these, and then a T for installing the boost line up in the engine bay to tap into your factory boost line. And then we've got some nuts to screw that bracket onto these on the back right there. And then we have installation instructions. So this is really cool. This makes me feel very good about installing this. Everything has been laid out for me right here, so telling you intake manifold, T in your boost line coming out to there, tells me what all my wires are, what color goes to what, and then step by step on what I need to do right there, along with additional notes. The thing I like the most about these like notes and everything is that this has obviously been tested, and they have obviously run into just some common, just small issues of, you know, you did this wrong if this happens, and they go ahead and tell you about that. So I mean, honestly, for 40 bucks you really can't beat it. 1 year warranty, really good tech support. So yeah, I would look into it if you guys are on a little bit of a budget and don't want to break the bank. This seems really good, and got good reviews and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started by ripping off this panel right here, which is not even attached, it just flops around. And then yeah, then I'm gonna find some wires and go for it. So I've got all my wires open there that I'm going to use, and now it's time for multimeter. So black is going to go right there for ground. Red positive is going to go right there. And we're going to go VDC 20. Okay, we've got 12 volts right there on that red wire. So this red wire right here is actually my switch wire, so I get 12 volts whenever I turn the car on. This black is ground, so I've got switch power, I've got ground right here, and I do not have a constant here, which kind of surprised me that the radio wires don't have a constant, but whatever. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. But anyways, I'm going to run up to the store and get some wire and an inline fuse and just run that constant straight up to the battery. Okay, so I went to the store. I've got this 18 gauge wire. I have this inline fuse holder. This is weather protective, so this is going to be up in the engine bay and kind of in the elements, I suppose. So I've got that. I've got some fuses. 5 amp fuse is going to go in there, and then that is going to come through and be my constant power, and then switch and ground right here. So I'm going to set that up and get it wired through, and I'm going to do all of that, and then I'll go back and film and show you what I did and where I fed the wire and everything. Okay, so I have routed the constant power, and I'm going to show you how. Here's my wire that's constant power going to the battery, and it is just going behind there under the dash over here. I'm gonna tuck it up better, and then here is my vacuum line going to the boost gauge. I ended up using the line and the T that came in the kit, and then just going into that black line right there, and then those are coming through. I cut out a hole in this grommet right here, and those are coming through here, and the door is not pinching these at all, and that is coming up into the engine bay right here, where I wrapped it with electrical tape just to kind of hide it, I guess. And that's coming right here, and then there's the T that came with the kit, and I figured out that I have to use this T because it has a restrictor on it, and that restrictor is needed to regulate the pressure going into the boost gauge. So that's where that boost line is going, and then the wire is in this little whatever you call it, harness casing, shield, whatever, that I just had some spare laying in the garage, so taped that off so that's nice and held on there, and then that is going across over to right here, and then it's going down behind the battery right there, and then I've got it tied into this inline fuse, which has a, hold on, I'll show you. Okay, I can't get it open, but this inline fuse has a 5 amp fuse in it, and then I just need to attach this end to the positive terminal on this battery, and I will be good to go. Alright, so now that I've got all that wired up, I I should be able to touch my ground to my ground, and then I've got my constant here coming off of the battery, and I have reconnected the negative terminal cable on the battery, so I should touch this and read 12 volts and 12.7 volts. We are good to go for constant, which means that I can finish installing my gauge. So in order to fit the gauge through the pod, it was hitting this back ledge right here, so I just found an electric handsaw and just trimmed down, just kind of went over and out and then followed back this way. So now I've got a nice flat ledge almost all the way up against the pod right there, and then flat on the sides, so this should come in at a downward angle just fine. Okay, so all my wires are connected. I've got the air fuel ratio gauge just sitting in here. This looks really good right here. My camera's about to die, but hopefully it'll get this. Take that film off, and here we go. Okay, lights up really well. Looks good, nice and plenty bright. This is the tinted lens, and we'll start it up. All right. And colors, green, red, like a baby blue, yellow, purple, white. All right, that's it for this video, guys. I hope that helped, and yeah, that was actually pretty fun. I've never done anything like that before, so it's pretty cool. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.